All right, we're moving fast and furious. It's like 17 degrees out here. Welcome back to the wood lot. Today we're gonna make our first delivery of one of our little crates here, full of wood. Keep your load. Back part of that skid steer is where most of the weight is, right? So you want to keep most of the weight over the back axles, back tires. You don't want to put all your weight in front of them. That's how you get a lot of wobble in your trailer. So you want to put the weight right over those axles. Looks good. Right around the corner. It's so nice to have your family right around the corner. And they got their own little 20 acres here now. Nice little farmhouse. So a lot of the Amish over here, they actually sold their places and moved like 7 miles away from here. And I told my daughter and them right off, I said, this was the house, you know, like if you wanted to get one of the bunch, this was the one to get, and the prices were very reasonable. And so I told them, I says, you know, if you want to jump on that, you guys have been talking about it, this is time to jump. And so they came over and looked at the house and everything, and they ended up buying it. So my grandkids are going to grow up on 20 acres. So I just help them out right now with getting wood and stuff. I'll probably supply them with wood the whole time, but they were just getting kind of low, and this was the last little bit of seasoned wood that I had left over from last year. You know, we still have some for ourselves, and I just broke them off a little bit because they're in between their house now because they're cleaning up and finishing their remodel job to sell the place. And then they'll be living here full time, which will probably be like in March now, right? April, maybe. One thing Dad was telling them, man, I was putting that urgency on them. If you guys have been watching the channel, I kind of got my pulse on what's going on a little bit, and I was just explaining to them that interest rates are going to go up at the bank, and prices on everything are going to go up, and they actually took heed to the advice and, you know, made everything happen, right? So now they're getting ready to sell their other place, so they'll be in good shape. I want to show you guys, a lot of you guys are leaving the city, and you know, you want to live this lifestyle, and you know, you're coming out to these properties, and maybe you don't want to do the composting toilet like Stacy and myself, right? Some of you guys are new around here. My wife and I, we use the bucket system. It works really good for us. And then we use the humanure, they call it, and you know, we use that as compost. Okay, it's kind of edgy. And they have an outhouse here. It's over, let's see, it's on right on the tip of that building there, right on the outside there. And she was going to give that a whirl and stuff, but you know, she got 5 kids, and with the baby and everything, she got 2 twins she's just had, and I don't know. So they just decided that they were going to put in a septic system, which a lot of you guys might want to do. So here's your big warning about the septic system, but let me get this trailer unloaded. I'm telling you guys, you might have heard about this, but maybe you've never seen it. And some of you guys probably never even heard about it. Have a seat right here. Let me get this unloaded. You gonna be all right? It won't take me but a second. And then when I show you, you'll be glad you waited anyway. One thing's for sure is Grandpa got here just in time. So they did maintain their wood stove, right? The Amish made the deal with them, and they kept the wood stove in the house. So they are going to heat with wood, and so it's going pretty good for them so far. And like, they're only here part-time, so they had a cord I dropped off. You guys might have remembered that one, but we dropped off a cord here. They muscled through it, and that's all they got left. And then this here will help get them through a little bit of till we get to springy kind of weather, and then we'll load them up with you know, 2, 3, 4 cords or something this summertime. Okay, so now a lot of you guys are out there, like I said, and you're putting in these new places, new properties, and you're putting in these septic tanks. Okay, and one of the reasons, or several reasons, why we didn't mess with the septic tank. One was the cost, and the other one was the maintenance, right? You know, long term, you know, you always have to do something with them or have them flushed out or anything like that. So I wanted to go with a less expensive alternative that provided the most benefit, and that's why we went with the composting toilets, right? With the 5-gallon buckets. And we have a lot of videos about it, and very knowledgeable about it. We've been doing it for over a decade, and it seamlessly works flawlessly. Never had one single problem with it. Never stinks. If it stinks, you're not doing it right. And everything about it's just been really good. Like I said, they've chose to put in the septic system. Now, if you have, if you're gonna do this yourself, right, if you're gonna put in a septic system, one thing you gotta do, you know, you gotta dig out your hole, and you gotta get your fall right. You know, there's a part where you wanna be really level, and there's a part where it has to be just tilted just a little bit. There's a lot going on here. So if you're gonna do this yourself, make sure you do your homework. Now, they actually hired somebody to do theirs. So they thought they were, you know, doing the right thing. You know, they didn't know much about it, and Grandpa doesn't have that much time to devote to, you know, helping him out, and I don't know that much about it. I mean, I could get it done. And so they decided to hire somebody. So the guys come out here, and they started the project before winter kind of settled in. Here, I'll take you out here and show you the first pit they dug here for, it's got like a lagoon system. But here, I'll take you over here and show you. See how that is? And then the lines in the ground all the way back up there to the house. So what happens is there's a septic tank close to the house. Everything loads up in there, and then, you know, your poop kind of settles down and all that stuff, and then the water kind of goes up, and then it just kind of leaches out. And, you know, they're gonna have a bathtub and stuff, so they gotta have a place for that water to run to. So in our state, they put in these like lagoons, they call them. And so the water all just comes down here, all your solids stay up there, all the other stuff comes down here, and if some stuff gets away from you, that's okay. It just sits in here in this pool of water, and it just kind of evaporates away. So that's one of the systems that they use in our state. We're in Missouri, in case you didn't know. Okay, and it works fine. You got to put a little fence around that, and you don't really ever smell it or nothing, but we didn't want to go with that one either. They have it where you can just do straight lagoon, or you can do straight septic system with a leach field, right? Where you just have a lot of land, and then you just run pipes, and then it just kind of seeps out all over the place. This is a more direct route, okay? Phew, man, you guys are learning a lot of stuff, aren't you? They got it so good. I mean, Lizzie and Amos, those are our friends that own this place. They have apple trees and the grape arbors, and there's the chicken house and the pond where they used to cut ice out of it, right? So they have all this infrastructure already. I'm kind of jealous. Okay, so when you put in your septic system, one of the main things I tell you is you never leave your septic system empty, right? So you hook it all up to the house, and then you have your pipes go in, and the thing's in the ground, and you're feeling good about it, and you cover it up. And the way you have to do immediately is put water in it. You have to fill it up with water. Because the first rain, right, or, you know, if the ground freezes or anything, it is just going to pop that thing right out of the ground. Concrete, plastic, whatever kind of septic tank you're using, it just pops it out of the ground no matter what. And sure enough, and remember, they actually hired the guy, a professional. But the problem is, see, this guy's got these jobs, and then he's got a water guy that he says he contacts, and then after he puts him in the ground, the water guy's supposed to come behind him and put the water in there. That's his, you know, story anyways. And somehow him and the water guy had a bad communication or whatever happened, and so the water guy didn't show up. And so that's the problem, right? I said, man, they could have turned on your well and at least, you know, got the water in there. But they were just relying on somebody else. So y'all, if you're gonna do this, you know, take heed, right? Get that thing in the ground and then fill it up immediately. Don't wait, oh, tomorrow, maybe it'll be okay. Or, you know, I'm busy right now. Or you get it in at night and you're tired. Don't do it. You're gonna cause yourself a lot of problems. Let me just show you some of the problems here that we have now. Now you can see all the connections, right? Obviously, blew them right apart. So this was actually in the ground connected to another pipe that goes into the house, right? There's their clean out. And so this is busted off here. You can see right here, there's another busted off pipe right there, right? So that pipe's got to be, all this work has to be redone again. All dug out, all redone. See this? And this pipe here, that's going to be busted inside the ground there. So they're going to have to pull that pipe out and get that all fixed out. Right? So there you have it, right? Going to hire some professionals, try to get the job done right. Somebody drops the ball and you got the mess going on. So now the problem is they're going to have to wait, you know, later on in spring, and then it's going to be wet. So I mean, they're not going to have any restroom activities or water flowing into that thing till, shoot, middle summer, I bet. Sun's really poking out now. It's getting me nice and bright. So I'm going to get this thing loaded up. You guys saw it was kind of overkill bringing over the skid steer, but I didn't want to load it up in the truck and then come over here and dump it out for them to unload it, because they're going to leave and go back to their other place. And I wanted to make sure they had that heat going. And so this was kind of a dry run too, in case somebody wants to get a couple of those. I could probably put on 2 or 4 of them and then take the skid steer and unload them at their house. So that was another thing to check out. So I'm gonna go inside this big barn real quick. I couldn't see nothing out there. I had the truck reflecting in my eyes and the buildings reflecting in my eyes, and everything's just white and bright out there with the snow, and the sun's coming out right now. So this is another nice asset they got, this big barn here, nice big hay barn. It's kind of weird for me, actually. I'll tell you why. If you're going to stick around to the end of the video, I'll tell you why it feels weird for me. You know, I've been up here for over a decade living with these folks, you know, and Amos and Lizzie have been real good friends of ours. They built our furniture for us, and you know, we've just had some good times and became good friends. And it's just, you know, it's just kind of odd that my kids are actually living in this house. And Amos and Lizzie and I, we talk about it sometimes, and I would just say to them, man, it's like, you know, if 10 years, if you rewind the clock like 10, 12 years, and when I first met you, I told you that my kids would be buying your house. Oh my gosh, she almost fell over. She said, no way. I would never believe it. And I said, I know, it's just crazy. But you never know what life's going to bring your way, right? So just be flexible. Stay ready for any opportunity that comes your way so you can capitalize on it. And that's it. And always remember to fill up those cisterns, or those septic tanks. And cisterns too, really, if you have an in-ground cistern, it's going to be the same thing. Anything you put in the ground that has an air pocket, a big cube with nothing inside of it, right out of the ground it's going to go. All right, we'll see you guys on the next video. Did you guys like Stacy's 60-year-old video where she was showing you what she eats? And then she had another one after that. If you guys missed those videos, make sure you backtrack them. Go watch them. A lot of good information. She's always having fun trying to lead you guys to a healthier life, right? I mean, this stuff matters, you know? And when things are going on, man, you guys better be really tuned into our channel right now, because we're going to be showing you guys how you're going to survive the coming apocalypse. See you on the next video.